This is the Hori Trident. Or as you might call it, the Hori Trident, as it is a Japanese lock. It has a round keyway with 17 pins coming from 3 directions, which you might be able to see. And it has a little notch on the bottom, which tensions the lock. I'll show you the key. Here's the key. You can see the cuts made in 3 rows. Some Hori branding. Here you can see the shape of the key, which has the little notch on the bottom. And over here, if the lighting allows it, yeah, we have some Japanese text saying Kagi no Kyukyusha, which means lock ambulance. Which is pretty interesting because we have a company called that in the Netherlands as well. So I guess that's a pretty popular name for probably a locksmith somewhere. Locksmith brand, locksmith company, whatever. We also have the original box that I came in. This particular lock is made by Etrice, which I believe is just a company that makes lock for Hori. And here you can see a nice graphic showing the inside of the locks, of the lock. Pretty neat. Nice. So this lock has 17 pins with security key pins that I believe are tapered at the top, I wouldn't say, and they have a spooled section right under that, at least most of them do. Not the sharp pins, but alright. And this makes it very easy to overset, and once you overset, you're screwed really. And another thing that makes it easy to overset is that all the drivers are standard pins, which might seem like a good thing at first, but I can promise you it's not. Because the feedback from a lock with standard pins with good tolerances, such as this lock, tends to be very mute. And you may think something's binding, but if it ain't, you overset it, get into a spooled section, and only find out that you made a mistake once you pick the rest of the lock, where you'll be hung up on a spool somewhere. Not that it happened to me, of course, guys, come on. Okay. Anyway, this lock with the circular shaped keyway is pretty close or similar to the clavis type lock. Now I believe Hori was the first to implement this, and that's just based off of the fact that on clavis packaging it says technical support by Hori, which might mean that they got the technology or idea from Hori. But that's just speculation. I didn't search that. Now I'm trying to find the top pins on the middle row. Not really, I found it. Now for picking, I'm using a Peterson hook number 7. Unfortunately, I don't have a fancy schmancy dimple pick, which would have been cool. So I'm just using this hook as a dimple flag. Just by turning it. I think I got the right side done. So now all that's left is the middle row. And I got what feels like the slightest of falsets. Let me just touch the pin on the right, and we got it open. Now this lock will relock on me if I'm not careful, so I'm not gonna push it any further than this. But you can see it turns because the notch was on the bottom, of course. And we're gonna relock that, which hopefully you would have been able to hear. So now gutting this thing isn't going to be the easiest of tasks. Whoops. But at least it's going to be pretty with my very unique tray. Great. Gonna remove this vise. And the first thing we're going to do is remove the core from this lock. It has these beautiful, great, amazing Japanese C-clips that everyone loves. Now at least you can lever them if you're lucky. The other one, oh maybe I can leave it from here. That should work, but it doesn't. Let me just put this. Let me start here. And lever off of here. Okay, we got that off. One of the hardest parts done. That's cool. I got some rings. we can push the core out. Because this core works independent from the lock body. Here you can see the core, the important bit. Here you can see the body that it was in. It uses this thing right here to keep it in place. But this is where all the pins are, and this works independently from the lock body. Just like how you can pull the core out of a Miwa U9 or PR or almost any Miwa lock really, the security ones. So now we have these 3 caps that are crimped into place. And thank you Samurai for showing me how to remove those, because I didn't even know how crimping worked, but he was very helpful. We're gonna remove these caps one by one, and we're gonna pull the pins out when we do. So let's start with this one. Just gonna take a screwdriver and push them out. One spring has already tried to escape, which I respect. No time like now while I'm trying to get it on video. There you are. Let me see if I can clear up some space. Because I found the fugitive. Okay, let me see how we're doing this. Left to right. That was number 1. Just pulling the springs out. Sorry, but gutting this is going to be a semi-tedious process. Man, these springs are too tiny, man. I can't. How? If I give them the least opportunity to just jump out, try to escape to another dimension. Oh my god, how? Okay. Now we're going to take the core out and get these pins out. Starting with 6. It's fine. Key pin, please. Hello. Oh, he's in there, right? So he can also get out. Nice. Good boy. That's not good. Stay in your lane. Again, stay in your lane. Good boy. Okay, so that's one row done. I will of course show you a close-up of everything once we're done. Let's see if I can do this one without device. That would be time saving. Okay, so let's just do these springs first, so they don't try to escape on me again. Who am I kidding? They probably will. But I will make it harder for them. Oh, come on, man. Get back. Alright, let's remove the rest. Of this row. Cool. No fugitives yet. Keyword being yet. Pull the springs out. He jumped out, that's also alright. At least it was on the tray. Caught that one with my hand. Okay. Oh, there's also a little anti-drill pin right here. Let's see if we can get it out. Nice. No, not today. All right, come on, man. Cooperate. Of course. Oh no. Let me see. Oh my god, just like, okay. Cool. Second row done, let's go. I would be very surprised if the pick took longer than the gutting. I really don't like these brass caps, but at least they allow you to top load. Ah, heck it. Just get it off. Ooh. We saved it, we saved it. We're fine, we're fine. Okay, that's the last cap. These are the last springs. Maybe amazing. One already fell. Great initiative, I like that. Stop sticking to my tweezers, please. So, I need to get out. Thank you. This is number 5. Okay. I didn't even see this one, but here we have another one trying to escape. But we caught him, which is great. Okay, those were the last springs. So we're almost ready. Start with the back. From left to right. Okay. I saw you. Get back. It's gonna be such a pain putting them back together. But hey, you don't have to see that. So that's cool. Okay. That was the last pin. Wow. Look at us. Okay, just for completionist's sake, I will got the core as well. I don't know if that's a requirement. I guess it is actually. But I can show you the core, which is cool. All right, got the screws off. Uh-oh. Nothing happened. That's cool. Now, let me be semi-careful. We should be all right. Because there is a pin in the back that sprung up quite significantly. That gives the core bias towards the locked or default position. Here you can see the pin. That's springy. Okay, I'll show you what that does, and I will show you the pins. Now for what you've all been waiting for, or the part that you skipped to, rightfully so. Here are the pins. They're not ordered super neatly because I don't want to bother. But you can see that the drivers are all the same. The little cups. They are standard pins. You've got some normal key pins, but the longer key pins have spooled sections, and the medium-sized key pins have kind of a mushroom top. You can see the tiny ass springs. These little cups. Some stuff, backplate, C-clip. This is the little anti-drill pin that goes in to the core. More stuff to keep the lock together. Now let me put you down. Here we can see the core. There's no type of milling on anything, but that isn't necessary with the standard pins, which are already painful as it is in this lock with the tolerances and whatnot. Here you can see the sprung pin that gives the lock bias because it interacts with that little indent that you can see. And here is the other part of the core. Crimp marks and all. So I think I already showed this a little bit, but don't do that, please. No, stop. Okay, cool. Inside the lock, to keep this in place, because this part isn't supposed to turn, they put this. And this is inside the groove in the lock body. Like this. So now you can't turn it. But yeah, that's about everything I wanted to say about this lock. The Hori Trident. I guess I'll get the sprung pin out. This is how it looks like. There's a little metal rod inside. It's great. Yeah, Hori Trident. Thank you for watching, and yeah.